welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in The Sims 4 and we are kicking off 2024 with a brand new speed build. Yeah, basically we're going to finish off start off where we left off last year with another cottage build. I'm really loving these at the moment. Yeah. So this time we're kind of incorporating two features in one because, you know, why not? And we are building 3 cottages in here, and this is all done in kind of a street theme. So it's kind of like just a country road, maybe in a little village or somewhere. And yeah, we have 3 fully furnished houses here. I did do a poll over on Threads and Twitter, X. I'm still gonna call it Twitter, I've got to be fair. Into there, and basically you came in, I think it was like 100%, you want all of the houses furnished. So that's what you do, you get all 3 fully done. But I am going to show you just one house today, so the other 2 are going to over time be filled in. And you're going to see them in the background, but they are not the focus of today's video because otherwise it'll be too long. Into there. So that's why we're just going to focus on this one, which is actually the biggest one of them all. So this one that we do here is a 4-bedroom. The one in the middle is... I mean, it can be a 2-bedroom. I've furnished it for a 1-bedroom, and then kind of like a spare room, kind of like maybe if they have somebody stay, maybe a little bit of a junk room, kind of throw all of your bits and pieces in. And then the other one on the other end, which is a big one, I think that's 3 bedrooms. Yeah. Into there, but obviously you will see those at the end in there as well. But this one here, now I really like this red brick. It came actually with the werewolves, which is not a pack I use often, I've got to be fair. There are some really nice items from that pack, don't get me wrong. However, I don't tend to build that sort of style, so I don't really use them. But this brick looks gorgeous. It's like that old kind of style brick. It's a little bit worn, it's a little bit sort of distressed, if that's the right word to say, into here. And yeah, it just looks really, really good in here. I think there's one that has like the stripes on the bottom as well. We didn't use that one, but yeah, it worked in here. And I have only just figured out now, given the fact that the latest For Rent came out like 3 weeks ago, I've only just realised they actually have new roof trims, and they are gorgeous. Wouldn't necessarily say they fit with the theme for the rest of the build, or for the rest of the pack, sorry, but for this build they fit perfectly and I love them. So yeah, that's what I went for in the end. Into here, and you can sort of see here I'm building up the sort of street, so it's a small sort of narrow little street in here that you can kind of come in, park along, sort of that sort of bit, and then a little bit of a junction here where you can turn off. And then I thought, there is a little bit of space, what do I do with it? I didn't want to move it to a bigger lot and have more houses because that would have just taken way too long, so I figured let's just put a little bit of a wall in here and then get a bit of sort of hedging and that sort of thing in as well. So that's what we do into here, and then we get some like pylons, sort of phone line electrics and stuff like that, but you'll see that later on as well. So there are the downstairs bits of the other houses that are all decorated up, so they're all sort of on the outside ready to go at this point. And I wasn't originally going to furnish them, and I kind of just threw the poll out there to everybody as kind of a what would you like, hoping and praying you would say just leave them empty, but no, typically you wanted them furnished, so that's what we done. But they're all in that same sort of cottagey, really nice sort of homely kind of style into here. And a few little bits of street decorations, maybe a little bus that stops in here, which I thought was a really cute little idea. and some little street lights as well. And we get some planters and stuff out here as well. These little mud piles, I kind of thought these as maybe like little pothole kind of things that, you know, anyone living in the UK, we know we all love not a pothole into here. Now, I had a little bit of trouble with these pylons, I've got to be fair. They are actually from different packs, and they are really difficult to actually click on. This one, nice and easy, straightforward. The others, no. So, yeah, I cut it there, and we jumped straight into the kitchen. Because I think it took me around about 20 minutes to work out where the point is to pick that up, to move it. But it has been moved, and yes, that is now all sorted. But into this kitchen, now I love this kitchen. So my kind of style of build, I like the older, kind of cottagey kind of builds, and then kind of with those little modern twists. Like maybe a little extension here, a little bit here, modern kitchen, bathroom, maybe a little bit of a revamp inside. This kitchen, I fell in love. I love the colours, that sort of soft, like minty kind of green with the pink. It was this floor that actually did it. I love this flooring, and the colours just worked from there, and I basically roll with it throughout the entire house. So yeah, but I absolutely love it. It looks gorgeous in here. So we kind of have quite a small kitchen, I think, in terms of sort of the amount of Sims you can have in here, but it fully works, and all those wonderful things I have play tested, and yeah, into here. So nice little sink in there. This is the only back sort of door to the garden as well for the kitchen, which I think is a little bit more normal in most of the houses that I've lived in, and obviously I live in the country in lots of sort of cottages. We tend to have our kitchens at the back of the house, and then sort of like you lead out from there. That sort of is normal, at least in any of the houses I've lived in. Let me know if yours is different. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was going for in here when I was kind of working out where everything goes and all of those wonderful things into here. Now I do have a slight disclaimer. Some of this pieces here, like the I think the chopping boards stay, but like the knife rack, the spices and all of that, they actually have disappeared, and I didn't realise until the screenshots. When I upload this, I will re-upload it as it is here, but in the screenshots it's slightly missing a few bits and pieces. I've obviously changed the wallpaper somewhere and without delete protection on, which I normally actually have on throughout the entire build, but for some reason it switched itself off. Yeah, you can all imagine what I said when I figured that one out. But this is a little dining area in here. I thought this looked really cute. And sorry, I don't think I've really used that table from Horse Ranch. It looked super cute in there, and it worked in with the colours perfectly. So yeah, I think they sort of, the last couple of packs have actually worked out really well. Sort of the Horse Ranch going together in there. Some of the items work out really, really well. And these sofas, again, they're not something I would normally go for with that sort of slight curve to them, but they work. And this is kind of quite a big sort of living room, so I do chop it in half here with this sort of L-shaped sofa. And I would have put one of the modular ones in, but they just don't quite work for me. They're a little bit too big and bulky, and yeah, so we've kind of gone for this old school kind of L in here where we've just smudged the two sofas together, but it works. So this is sort of the play area, kind of kids space at the back here. We've kind of got the brick table and the little play mat, because we do have a toddler in this, we do have an infant, sorry, in this build. And then we have, I'm probably gonna say maybe like one kid and maybe one teen, but they're like very just starting to be a teenager, if you know what I mean. Like they're kind of in that in-betweeny stage, like they're not quite a kid anymore, but they're not quite a teenager, but they don't really have a classified age in the game. So yeah. Now again, I do actually cut out the parents' bedroom for this build. So you'll see me do the 3 kids, sort of the 3 children's bedrooms, but not the main bedroom. You'll see it in the screenshots. I didn't have enough time. When I was doing this, I did originally have it in, and I think even sped up, it would have taken it to around about 40 minutes. And I just thought that was too long. So I thought something had to go, and I really like the back garden, which I've done for this build. So I thought, let's keep that in, and we'll lose one of the parents' bedrooms, which I've got pretty standard and boring. So yeah, you'll get lots of screenshots of that, but not so much in the video. And I really like the kids' rooms. So yeah, there was decisions that had to be made, and the parents' bedroom was the one that got cut as a result. But we are on to the infant's room up here. Now this is actually next to the parents' bedroom. So the parents' bedroom is just sort of at the bottom, you'll see that here. And then this is kind of like the little box room. It's kind of like a little, it's quite small, but it works in here really, really well. And I did, when I actually played this, tested this, I had, I think it was a single sim and a infant. So I know this room can be used into here. And then obviously I got her to sit on the bed and do all of those other things. So it all works for me. But obviously if anyone has any issues, do let me know in the comments down below or on any of my social media posts for it. And I will have another little looky into here. Now I was really struggling to how to decorate the bedrooms. I feel like I do like the kids' rooms all the same. And so I was scrolling through Pinterest for like nurseries and baby rooms and things like this, and really saw this bright orange, and I'm talking bright orange room in here, and they kind of had like a circusy kind of theme for it. It was kind of like bright colours and lots of animals and things like that, which I thought worked perfectly, and I tried to recreate it as best as I could with what we have in game. But yeah, so we've gone for this bright sort of yellow orange, and then we do actually put a blue like paint wallpaper on the walls as well, because I just thought it needed a little bit of dark to come through into here. So that's what we did in the end. But yeah, I really like these rooms. The kids' rooms are actually really cool. But yeah, you'll see what I think so anyway. Let me know what you think down below. But yeah, so I love this little toy tiger. It's in the kids category, so I'm presuming they can play something with it. I don't really know what. I haven't play tested the actual teddy in there. It's from the latest pack for rent. So, because I think there is like an animal sanctuary or something. I've not really play tested or played in the world or done anything but that, so I don't really know too much about it. I've not seen any pictures of it at all either, so I don't know. But yeah, I think they have got tigers in there. But yeah. Anyway, this is what I'm calling the teens room. It's got a double bed in it, but it's kind of pushed over to one side. It's really small. And we kind of do some little quirky kind of things with it, just to try and make it a little bit more interesting. And I feel like we've kind of brought in the bright colours. So again, we've kind of gone for yellow and blue, where we did have orange and blue. This time we've kind of gone for yellowy, but it works in here really, really well. And using this sort of canopy in here, I think it's slightly different, because I know it's supposed to go over a bed, but I felt like here works a little bit better, sort of as a nice little drape over here, and a little bit of a privacy screen, kind of making you walk around it rather than through it to get into this room. And yeah, using the little stool as a kind of end table, bedside table in here actually kind of makes it a little bit more cute, a little bit more funky, kind of a little nod to the country where you live. But they've got a nice, I'm gonna say expensive house. I don't necessarily know how much this house would cost to live in, but when I set this up, this is like the main house, and then the other two cottages are like for rent, as it were, off of this, if you know what I mean. So you kind of live in this one and then you can like rent the others out. At least that's what I'm thinking. Or maybe you're maybe a landowner and own all three, and just rent all of them out. Another option. You can play with it however you like into here. And yeah, so this is the one where I said that they were kind of a kid, kind of, but maybe just starting to go up into a teenager. Into here. So we do have a few little toys on the floor. We have lots of sort of mess and clutter, and bits and pieces in here as well that kind of indicate that they're a little bit more childish maybe than a teenager into here. But yeah, I think it works in here really well and I like it. So I don't know about you, but I like it. That's all that matters to me. As I build just for me, really. And then I thought this would be a nice, cool little thing. And I've really been looking at getting like one of these for myself. Kind of like, you know, like one of those neon lights. I did look at them, but they're really expensive to have them all sort of personally done. So in the end, I didn't really bother looking too much. But yes, this is then the final bedroom that we do in here. We're speeding through this video today. Crumbs. In here, which is the one I was going to do for kind of the teenager. Now, I know we do, for the kid, sorry. So this is kind of the middle child, as it were. And so here we've kind of got 3 books. We've got lots of sort of music. Obviously, we've got the guitar in here. And I wanted it to be a little bit more kiddie as well than the other one. And stuff like that in here. But I thought maybe a bookworm. Somebody who thought I'd cut all that out. I'm sorry. Into here who likes reading and likes maybe being by themselves a little bit more. As well. I don't know what the issue is with these bookshelves. They keep snapping back. And it's driving me mad. I've got to be fair, it was driving me bonkers. Yeah. it wasn't just once either. I don't know why they keep snapping. They're not actually bookshelves. They are, well, they're shelves from the book nook kit that are designed to like be in keeping with, but they're not actually bookshelves, if that makes any sense. But yeah, anyway, they everything gets put in. Everything ends up in its right place. It just took me forever to get there. But yes, and then we put on a few more bits in here. Now, this is one thing, this bookshelf over here isn't reusable. You have plenty of other bookshelves throughout this build. That this one just wasn't really needed. It was just that it worked with the pictures that I was going for. So yeah, I did fall down a trap when I was doing the nursery, as I said, that of different builds and different pictures of different nurseries and kids' bedrooms, and yeah, I saw this one and thought I quite like it. So it works in here, as I say, very kind of bookish, doing lots of like homework, studying, there's craft tables coming in, yeah, a little bit different to my sort of normally sort of themed bedrooms I do for kids. I tend to do those quite a lot, I have to be fair, but this one seems a little bit more neutral. I think I have done it in like the pinks and stuff, so it's not necessarily a neutral or gender neutral bedroom, but very much a kind of an unthemed, like anybody could move, like if you've got a kid, they can move into this sort of bedroom in here perfectly fine as well. And yeah, lots of posters and bits and pieces that we get out through here, and I thought love hearts on here would work out really well, so we kind of went for that one, especially over the other ones. The other themes, the other pieces aren't very good because they're like summery and autumn. I suppose we could have maybe gone with the winter one, given the fact that it is sort of winter, but didn't really work for me in here, and so yeah, we end up with that in here, and yeah, lots of bits and pieces tucked in, and then this is where we get the craft table in, this sort of little nook into here, and there wasn't really one that matched the colour theme that I really wanted, so I think in the end we went for a white one, which we then probably change back into that sort of darker woods into here, and lots of sort of rugs. I really like sort of those soft little rugs, you know, like ones you can crunch your toes into, which were in here. Anyway, moving on from feet, let's not talk about them. Into here, and the wardrobe, we don't have like a kind of bedside table, end table in here. There really wasn't room for that and a wardrobe, and I feel like every kid needs a wardrobe, so we placed one of those that was quite low, and so it kind of can be used like doubled up as for both of them. In the end, we do change out most of the colours to a lighter wood, which I was trying not to do, but I think it actually works in here because we have like the pastel sort of colours coming through and stuff like that as well. And this one has like, I don't know if they're rainbows on the bottom, but it has sort of like arches or different things in them as well, from the high school pack, which we have used quite a lot of that in this build. Shockingly, I know. It's one of my go-to packs for lots of bits and pieces, and I feel like this one with the curtains, they've kind of like just pulled half of it across. That was kind of what I was going for into here. But this is the sort of back garden, and we've kind of got like a little patio area on one side and then kind of a nice little lawn area on the other. Now, because this is actually raised up on a platform to kind of give you that front little step, it meant that you don't have real grass, you kind of like fake sort of grass in here, but I have kind of striped it like they would stripe a normal grass in your garden, so I've tried to make it as realistic as possible, and then I've used these planters in here as kind of like raised little flower beds in here, and we've kind of got lots of bushes, lots of planting, in keeping with that sort of pinks and sort of whites that we have got going through the house as well. And then we get other little bits and pieces out here. I think we end up with obviously a picnic table, like a little garden table out here, and we have a little paddling pool for the infant and swing set and stuff like that in the garden as well. So that's all in here as well, but we are quickly coming to the end of this video into here. Now, as you can see, the back gardens of the other ones haven't actually been done at this point, and actually none of the houses have been done on the inside. They come later on. You'll see them in the screenshots into there, and I do the gardens as well, in sort of different styles and different things as well into there. Now, this actually is in Henford-on-Bagley. It's up, oh, where is it? I think it's right at the very back of this sort of like the top neighbourhood. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but yeah, it works up in there. That's where I think it is. Into there, that's where I based it all, and I do believe it's a 30 by 20, no, it might be a 40 by 30, I think, looking at the size of it. It is quite a big lot into here, but anyway, this is the garden, and this is available now to download from the gallery, so you can check that one out. It is called The Street, as you can see up in the top corner, so that's what it is available on the gallery. Into here under my EA name of MissKinghorn, so check that out, or you can see any more screenshots over on any of my socials, so as I said, X, Threads, Discord, Instagram, all of those fun things. But until next time, enjoy the screenshots, and I will see you all again really, really soon. But until then, stay happy and stay building. Bye everyone!